high volume to high volume, just overnight move. You can see this high bump here. And then it drifts around in this high volume area, because high volume is a price attractor. And then we come into this next day and we start seeking value elsewhere.
Okay, good morning. Hope you can hear me well. 5 minutes or 4 minutes to go to the opening here in the cash market in the DAX. At the moment, the sectors Lang and Schwarz is taxing only, what is taxing here up? Yeah, Lufthansa, Deutsche Lufthansa. In the futures we can see that we have a price change, CAC 40 stocks, DAX all 9.5% up, and what's down? Tech DAX, FTSE, MIP. China is mixed, unchanged, unchanged. Forex market, we see that Euro US dollar is unchanged, US dollar yen unchanged. Looks like a rotation day. Looks like that we have to focus on the distribution here. Let's take a look if it's possible. Yeah, bonds are playing their no man's land. We saw that we got back in above the list here, 35, and that's the wiki profile. And we see that the no man's land, the area where we are have an undirected movement. Okay, so we are up. Bonds opening with no final order. Let's take a look at the DAX. Want to see if we got the test of the 50% or 50%, and here the 12,290. Let's unlock it. So here we go. That's the list. The line in the sand of the initial balance. We touched it. what's up here. Lufthansa packs dividend payout ratio to net profits. Okay, that's the reason. So here we go. Our value area low and rotation point 280. Let's take a look what the market's going to do there. Some absorption here, you can see it. Still some shorts in the market that push us down, but we see that the bid is a good net here. The focus is at the moment at the long side. I want to get into the long market because of the transaction here in the price. No, that's not the reason. We want to see that the market's going up to 350, initial balance high is 380. We see here some absorption at our low volume node, and we see that there was more lifting at the 290. So the game is in play. We didn't get the best price. Best price was really here, the low. 290. Kazakhstan Energy Minister, it will not be easy to come to agreement on the continuation of OPEC. Okay, let's take a look later at the oil price. For the moment we see that we have a decision point here in the DAX. Again, some absorption here. Let's take a look if the price action does what we want to do. We see that the tape is mixed. It's just a technical rotation we see here. The tape is mixed, so we didn't manage to see. Here we go. Tape getting green. Okay. Look at this, tape is getting green, 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 green. So one contract, one part is out. Here we go, let's take a look. I don't want to get into a losing trade again, so stop must be below that absorption level. You see the divergence here in the price. We see the absorption and there we see the buying. Hope it plays out, but we are in the play, and for me important level initial balance high 318. If we break it, we are running into a POC of Friday. POC of Friday could be a wall, so we have to watch out for this level. Let's take a look at the bond market. bond market is rotation in this no man's land. It's not interesting for me. For me, it's likely good for a short below the 32 and above the 43 long. And the stocks market, yeah, stocks is outperforming the DAX. No? It's nearly at the highest old high here from May. Took it out. Okay, here you see some absorption. So the participants get out of the market, and it's still ongoing final order here. That's an order. For us, the focus must be we go into the POC here. Finger at the mouse. If we break it and we make a re-break, we have not enough volume to get into the market, to fill the market and push it higher. Okay, second time here. Delta is still up. Delta is still up. Initial balance high 318. Finger at the mouse. Finger at the mouse. We want to see. Look at the tape. Look at the tape. It's green. Morgen.
Der Punkt links jetzt an der Unterseite der Volumenkarte, der morgen Vorkasse-Distribution, also hier wieder Aktivitätszone. Da ist mal die Frage, können wir tiefer gehen, also nachhaltige Verkäufer zurück in eine nächst tiefere Distribution, oder nehmen wir diese Unterseite ab und bleiben erstmal da drin und gehen zurück in die bisherige Range zwischen der 100.
You can push, look at the tape and the Delta. 20 it's the initial balance high. 20 it's the initial balance high.
Und der Markt ist hier oben natürlich bullish ausgerichtet.
Some limit on the bid side at the 12. Some limit here. You can see it. We pushed. That's a break. And times and sales is green. Looks good for a breakout still. We got at the POC. Wait a minute. We want to see the market push through the POC. Say that we are not too expensive. We want to get higher prices. Okay, we got the POC. Some selling here, but not really much. Get absorbed. More selling. Get out. We won into the POC of Friday. We see that there's an absorption at the initial balance high. Okay, we can get back to a new service here to the long side. But for me more important, my technical instruction said that we want to break the initial balance high, get out, and at least want to see the 40s here. That's the last technical high here, or it's 50% of the initial balance at extension. And we run into the PLC and we see that we fall back 5 points with low volume, and for me it's not important because we got a good play at the bottom. You see, fall back with low volume, just a little bit of delta isn't so big at the drawdown. You can see that we start to lift the market and have market sales here, so that we know that we get pushed by the limit side. Limit buys pushing the market higher because market players are getting out of the long position. You see, get out of the long position, get out of the long position, and we want to see maybe a new move upwards, but for me more important, more likely is to get back and fall back to the initial balance low, and that would be to 275. Morgen, Anton. Ich bin schon durch. Feierabend.
Morgen, Matthias. Und du machst schon Feierabend?
Ja.
Warum?
Ja, hat sich gut ausgespielt. Value Area Low, Backtest, Initial Balance High, Kauf, erste Move ein, zweite Move rein, Gewinne rausgenommen und dann lief der zum Ausbruch und ist wieder Rebreak runter unter die Initial Balance High und jetzt bin ich raus. Macht ein paar Punkte, warte mal. Und zwar 58 Ticks.
Das heißt, ganz um 9:11 Uhr Feierabend.
29 Punkte.
Super. Wurdest du dann gar nicht getestet heute quasi vom Markt? Hast du das Play jetzt bekommen sozusagen?
Ja, ich habe hier heute für mich ganz klar, weil wir hatten ja darüber gesprochen, ganz klar wegen dem Wetter und die ersten Bewegungen, Initial Balance Play auf jeden Fall, ne?
Ja.
Und falls möglich Reversal bzw. Continuation Trade an einer großen Marke. Und ich habe den Reversal Trade an einer großen Marke bei der 12.287 bekommen und daraus wurde dann auch Initial Balance Play und auch der Fokus, was gut war. Ich mache mal auf Englisch kurz, ne?
Sorry.
My focus was at the initial balance high that we won into the POC of yesterday. So I got my finger at the mouse to trigger or go out of the long position because the initial balance break at the top was was predictable that it will fail if there's no final order. So we got the POC of Friday 325.24 and we hit the Friday mark there and then we fall back below initial balance high. So out of the market the play was out, but we are still moving higher, but there was enough volume to bring us back into value. But the next market, so that was the play for the FDAX, and now I'm looking for the Bund to leave the no man's land zone. The zone goes from 32 to 43. That's no man's land zone. We are up above the list. My list is 35. That's the list, the line in the sand. Then we are below that level. So my focus is here on the short side.
Absolutely, yeah. If we re-enter the area of 172.30, like with a pullback, if for the ideal scenario, then I would go to the short to re-enter the distribution below, which reaches from 172.30 to 21.
Yeah, but it's difficult because the 26 is the VPOC, no?
Yeah, 25 is a VPOC, so this is a short-term target to watch for reactions and take profits quick. But if there's no bigger reactions, warum reden wir gerade in Englisch? Ich sehe gerade nicht mal der Heinz hört zu, der hat seinen Kopfhörer auf. Jetzt hört da keiner zu, fällt mir gerade auf.
Ne, bei YouTube.
Was?
YouTube.
Achso, du hast gar keinen Link reingestellt.
Puh. Jeder, der will.
Okay, aber du hast ja gar keinen Link.
Ist schon egal. Jeder, der mich abonniert, sieht das. Ist schon egal. Jeder, der mich abonniert, sieht das. Ist schon egal. Also wie gesagt, jeder, der das will, der kann es ja angucken, ansonsten muss er nicht. Ist ja für mich die Aussage. Ich habe mich auch selber größer gemacht, damit ich auch die Reflexion habe, ob ich nervös bin oder sonst irgendwas, weißt du?
Aber wie kommt man denn auf den Link? Wo hast du denn den gepostet? Bei Twitter oder?
Ja, genau. Stimmt. Ich habe den doch gepostet.
Bei Twitter oder wie? Okay. Ja, der Livestream, weil ich wusste gar nicht, wo der ist.
Okay, so the Bund is in the range in the no man's land zone. Anton, you can see the line is sent in the weekly profile here.
You're talking to me?
Yeah. And the line is sent weekly profile is 35.
Yeah, around, yes.
And oh, max min. What did I do? And in the daily profile we are in, yeah, that's a big double distribution the last 3.5 days. A big double distribution means that between the 35 and the 44 we have the minimal low volume node, and at the 35 we start a distribution to the lower side, also to the bottom. And above the 45 we got started distribution to the upside. And you see the market's filling up this low volume node. It's building volume inside this low volume node because it says that we have a big distribution, we have a low volume node between the big distribution, and we want to be clear. It's a finished auction market at this price, so we need more volume at the low volume node.
Yeah.
It's just filling up the low volume node. So for me it's interesting to see that the stocks market here is still going up and playing better a better game on the long side than the DAX. Ja. Anton, ich wollte Bund, DAX, ein Spread mal als Indikator aufmachen.
Ja, was solltest du machen? Ein Bund, DAX, Spread-Indikator.
Genau.
Okay.
Bund, DAX Indikator, Nasdaq, Treasuries Indikator als Spread. Ich muss mal gucken, wie ich das hinkriege, ein Spread hier, weil siehst du mein Play, was ich gemacht habe hier?
Moment. Zeig mal. Ja, ich sehe deinen Fadenkreuz.
Hier absorbt, guck mal hier, da war das 12.290 absorbiert, genau, siehst du hier, das erste Mal. Dann siehst du hier, dass der das zweite Mal absorbiert hat. Dann hat er einen Longplay genommen, dritte Mal absorbiert und dann ging das Ding hoch. Hier war der POC 12.321, kam wieder runter und dann bin ich da rausgegangen. Ne? Und du siehst auch, dass der den Ausbruch Initial Balance High 318 in den POC rein, dass der zum Scheitern verurteilt ist, wenn da keine Order drin ist. Ne?
Ja. Dann geht's immer weiter, genau.
Yeah, Bund still nothing to do. DAX for me it's important to see the FX market and the Asian market. You can see the FX market still on the laying on the side. It's neutral, not moving anywhere. Euro, USD, US dollar, Japanese yen, FTSE, all are unchanged. In the DAX 30, only the Lufthansa, yeah, no, Daimler is going up. What's up? Oil could be interesting for the day. You can see here in the DAX we reject the PLC of Friday. So there are some people telling us that the price is too high. We don't want to get there's a disagreement about value at that price. So no one wants to buy at the high, and no one wants to anybody wants to sell the price, telling us we are too expensive, get out of my long positions. So take care of your long positions in the DAX. We saw that we tested the value area low, and we have an 80% chance to see the other side. But if we see someone selling the PLC 1 time, 2 times, it's saying us that we are too expensive. Maybe we can get a better entry again at the lows here between 89 and 300. Let's take a look at the oil market here. Oh. Oil still rising. Look at the last sign we got out of the market. We saw an old VPOC here, the 57, 55. We saw the last one 56, 97. What's the clue here? We saw that VPOC and building volume above that level, Here we saw the VPOC and we are in value, so we are balanced. We see a sideways market building some volume, and now we are building a ledge. If we fall back below the 80, 85 here, 90, it could be that we fall back into the distribution we saw in the last up move. So that's the distribution, that's the value. We are in a long market, but if you fall back, I want to see the other side, maybe the POC. So let's build a combined profile for the last 3 days here. You can see it more clearly. Weekly we are probably at the low volume node here with the 30, 34. You see that's the low volume node here, and then we start in a new distribution, so possibly we will stay in the bottom of that value. Okay, let's give us a marker there. And here we want to see let's see. We are in a breakout. The technical part, we can see that the low volume node at the 5800, we see that we couldn't manage last week to get above the level. Overnight we pushed through it and then we built volume above that level. Maybe we go through it, maybe not. In the DAX we are rejecting this level again and again and again. Let's split it out. You can see that we have problems to go higher, but we are still in a good mood because we are about the 50% level of the day to go up. Russian energy minister says that we see rapidly heating up on global energy markets. Okay. So oil is crude oil, VTE and so on. It's just at the moment the point of view. Looks like that we got our balance in our daily profile. So that we are moving sideways between the 305 and the 325. So best price to get into the long is below the 302, 304 in the DAX. What's going on with the bond? Bond still in the sideways, in the no man's land. And you can see we declarify the no man's land as the price area where the price or the chart told us in the past that it's not in any direction. It's not directed move anywhere. We go through the level or we don't. If we don't go through it, we don't know which side it will take out, the long or the short side. And that's the past. And now we can see that in the present we see it's ranging between these levels. Think about it. If you go long or short in this market, you are in a plus, you are minus, plus, minus, plus, minus. Euro stock still about his line in the sand. It's a 53 at the moment. Let's fix it here. It's a 53, 52. But looks like that we are accepting our value for the day. You see the low volume node of Friday, and now at the moment we cannot get higher here. Yeah, FedEx is a focus in China. Okay. Let's take a look at the forex market. We can see that the GBPs, the FTSE is going down, the cable is going down. But most important, US dollar, Turkish lira. You can see the last our headline. You can see that it's down now 1.6%. Energies. What's up here with the energies? Lean hogs. Okay. Gold unchanged, plus 9.5.
Nutzer bleibt in dieser Range seit der Vorkasse. Dass wir legen ja immer um den BNC und die Erweiterung auf der Oberseite sieht auch aus. Also da gibt es jetzt nichts zu tun, auch wenn insgesamt man, wenn man irgendwas sucht und auch eine Range sucht oder so, auf der Unterseite wieder, würde ich momentan nur die Long-Seite handeln, aktuell aber nichts zu tun.
Poor resolution. So, what's up here? Yeah, okay, we failed to make it higher than the last Friday PLC 12,325. We saw that, what is the daily profile here? That's the daily, okay. We saw that our breakout of the initial balance was, failed. We are now at the line in the sense, the 296, 97. And our target for the rebreak was the 275, because we didn't manage to go out of the initial balance, and now we want to break down and fall back to the bottom of this range. What was the line in the sand? Is this 96? 275 is the low volume node, and low volume initial balance low. What could be the possible reaction? We make it to the low volume node, low volume to the initial balance low, and then we can start from there to break out to the bottom and take out the stops of the retracement trader here, or we make it at the moment back above the line in the sand here, the 96, and then we build a retracement and go to the other side of the value. So let's take a look at the chart and let the price tell us what he want to do. At the moment we are at the open range low 89. Bonds still nothing to do, sideways market. We see a bit in the bid, bigger offer in the bid. Anton, du hast ja gesehen, ne? Low Volume Note, also da heißt 1200 Kontrakte. Possible we can play here the breakout out of the no man's land zone. We see that there's someone pushing the market higher and someone is trying to absorb the long side. Here you can see it, someone's absorbing it, and that now we push through it. So possible breakout on the upside. Let's take a look at the times and sales. DAX is going down. Our target is 75, okay. Bund's interesting at the moment.
Yeah, the problem in Bundes for the trend plays in thinking of going from value to value is following. In not more than maybe 1 out of 10 cases, you get a continuation move after rejection the POC or after a long push away from the POC, like you see here. We had a try to get long from value to value at 924, 931 and right now. And you always have to expect that the price can go back for your risk. That means right now if you're in a position here, you have to set your stop level at least to 172.35. This means a 7-tick distance from here. Also you have to know on the upside there is the 172.49 as a naked POC from last Thursday. So if you're in this position, you have to know that there's only a 1-1 risk-reward scenario. So if price coming back into this micro consolidation and you see again rejection on the downside, that means prices can't go deeper than 172.36. You may think here's the best risk-reward for positioning. The two goals, go one, to play along in the range, and go two, to stay in the position to get this probable, long. But right now there's only a 1-1 situation.
More important for me is look at the high, last high, low volume, the high before low volume at the top, and now we are building more volume at the top. So there is a initiative buyer at the market. Someone wants to push the market higher. And
that's true, but mathematical, it's still a 1-1 risk-reward situation.
For me, it's not 1-1.
Okay.
Because, look, I want to go long above that level to get into that area here. And the next low volume node is 56.
56, this is the maximum target for the long. That's right.
So if we break it, we are in the long, but the times and sales is mixed. It's not a clear trade. You can see the times and sales is mixed. The delta, someone's getting out of the market. You see now we are absorbing the shorts we got from 400 up now to 800, and what's important for me is to see that someone here at the 43 is still absorbing the market, and I want to see more aggressive buyers here to get through that mark or that level. And if we break it and I'm long, I want to get a really tight stop, because if we break this level, I'm not the one that break the level, someone else did it, and get into the longs with the books, the longs into this books at that level, and that's a high price, so the risk is really big here. So we give the price or the action no room to play to the downside. And if we fail, we see absorption, and if we get red, we want to get into the short because it's a range play. Aber Anton, du hast gesehen, das war der beste Preis hier jetzt. Absorption, also erste Mal gehandelt, zweite Mal gehandelt, dritte Mal mit Absorption zurückgefallen unter die 42, da war der beste Preis. Shit.
Aktuell, klar, auf jeden Fall.
Shit. Für den Range-Play war es der beste Preis, um einmal komplett durchzugehen.
Long Shit, das Szenario läuft ja noch. Also momentan ist der Long immer noch im Play, und wenn sie es jetzt nicht ausspucken.
Der ist für mich ist der Short jetzt im Play, weil die haben mir versucht long. Gescheitert sind unter die Käufer, und die Stops, die werden fliegen, wenn wir unter die 36 gehen.
Also wir sind ja noch auf der 43.
Genau, und ja, aber wir sind schon im Short, und wir werden fliegen, noch schneller werden, wenn wir unter die 37 fallen. Das heißt, für mich ist im Moment der Long-Ausbruch gescheitert, und wir sind im Short Play. Range Play Short.
Wo ist denn dein Kurs gerade? Vielleicht hängt mein Ding.
39.
Dann hängt bei mir gerade was. Ich bin auf 43. Naja, ich habe hier gerade einen Abbruch. Tatsächlich. Interessant. Okay, jetzt bin ich wieder an.
So, DAX, where's the DAX? Yeah, DAX is absorbing the value area low, so DAX is trying to go deeper into the price, but we can see in the price action here that someone's trying to hold the market. We see absorption on the bid side, and a bigger limit level here that we saw, and we see that someone's absorbing the market, but absorbing means nothing. We need also a price action on the long market to buy the market up. It could only be that that's take profit of the POC shorts from the 200 and what was it? 200 and 325. Look here. See, now at the moment we see passive buyers, and now we see active buyers, but someone's hitting the market from the arc side to get lower. We see delta is rising and price is declining, so now we get through that mark. Let's take a look at the Bund. No, and the stocks. Yeah, cash low in the stocks. Stocks markets at the cash low too. So someone is getting into the market or out of the short passive, and we see aggressive buyers here. Aggressive buyers at the value area low, out of the value area low. So want to see who of them is going out as a winner. For me, more important, we are below the line in the sand, and if I don't know what to do, long or short, I look at the line in the sand, and we are below the open, and we are below the line in the sand, and more likely is to go with the trend, so that's the short side. Yeah, bonds holding here the 37, you see that was the last price. We see aggressive buyers and divergent in bid-ask side imbalance, delta imbalance. So they are defending that level. Also da, solange wir da drüber sind, kann der Ausbruch noch funktionieren, Anton, ne? Okay, we got through it. Yeah, someone's buying the market here. Someone's buying the market and someone's hitting the bid. Yeah, that's our no man's land zone here. You can see it like in the bond market. We got a breakout on Friday at that level. We're holding that line, and then we get out of the market below that level, and then we build an overnight area below that 275, and now we are again in this area where there's no direction. So we want to see if we break the high or the low of that area to get more clarity about the momentum we are building. So watch out, no man's land zone here, 75 to 289.
And all this back to the area of the range low right now from this holding scenario from the POC. So they test if they can stay here, to stay in this micro range, or go deeper to the range low at 9, 10, 9, 15 area. But anyway, 10 minutes to the IFO climate business index, so important economic numbers.
Yeah, Anton, now look, the DAX also built a no man's land zone where we don't know which side he will choose. So we got the bond market in this zone, and the DAX and the indices and the stocks all are waiting for the economic release. But I told here Heinz that it's not important what news we got. It's important to see which side the price will choose. And at the moment we have no last sign or information out of the market that we hold a POC or we defend a support level or something. So At the moment, as long as we are in the green rectangles here in the bond and in the DAX, there's nothing to do.
Absolutely.
But if we let's play it out. But if we would stay at the P or C in the bond, take the bond market, and you can see, for example, we are playing the 25. 25. We are down to the 25 before the news release. And we are playing the 25 again, holding the 25, holding the 25 and go up. So we got the last sign out of the market that we are the price is too low and we want to get higher, and for me likely it has nothing to do with the news release expected an enormous change number. It's more likely to go up because the price sets to us we are not expensive, we are too cheap, so we want to go up.
Ja.
Ja, ist doch so, ne? Das ist doch egal, was für Nachrichten da sind. Das sind vielleicht die Katalysatoren, aber vorher sehe ich doch schon am Preis, ob irgendjemand da rein oder raus will. Guck mal, die ganze Zeit im Preis, schau mal im Delta, im DAX sahen wir schon die ganze Zeit passive Absorption auf der Bit-Seite. Die ganze Zeit. Und dann irgendwann, als wir nach unten gefallen, ist der Käufer, nachdem wir nicht weiter gefallen sind, ist der Käufer in Market Buying übergegangen. Das heißt, hier ist ein Käufer im Markt. Im Moment. Lass mal gucken, wie sich das ausspielt, aber hier ist jemand am Kaufen.
Ja.
Siehst du das hier im Bild von mir?
Ich bin gerade im Punkt.
Ach so, okay.
Sorry. It's a little bit too fast for me because I sometimes need some time to rethink scenario. I'm not a fast-minded guy. I need some time for transition and thinking. Im Endeffekt sehe ich gerade, weil ich zu langsam bin, ne, wo wir geredet haben, dass ich um 9:14 Uhr eigentlich den Long verpasst habe im Bund. Da haben wir die Unterseite getestet, nachdem die Open Range kurzzeitig mal nach unten erweitert wurde, aber nur in dem Bereich der Distribution, und um 9:14 Uhr gab es dann letztendlich eigentlich die Ablehnung und dann sind Käufer zurückgekommen.
Ja, schau mal, wir haben nur 6 Kontrakte kurz angehandelt auf dem Level vom letzten Team.
Ja, und ich habe das, ja genau, also ich bin manchmal, bin ich einfach nicht in der Lage, 2 Dinge zu tun, dass ich jetzt dazu gucke und manchmal kommentiere, manchmal muss ich werde in Zukunft auch mal ab und zu mal kurz ruhig sein, oder dann kann ich meine eigenen Trades auch nehmen. Überfordert mich einfach mal.
Ja.
Das ist dann schade.
Ja, so. Müssen wir mal Fokus jetzt hier, DAX. Diese DAX jetzt, guck mal, die Zonen, die wir angehandelt haben, DAX Local, No Man's Land, Oberkante, wieder rejected und wieder rein. Back in. Okay. Two minutes to go. So here we go. 10 seconds. Let's take a look. Wow. So we tested the 289. We are out at the downside. Let's take it. Wait a minute, we have to look. Market's telling us that he wants to get down. German IFO climate index 97.4 versus 97.4 expected, like expected. So, but price is telling us that he wants to get down through the no man's land to the downside. So let's take a look at the price action here. We are focusing the short side because price want to break out. Selling starts at the 28 here, the price where we saw the last absorption, we fall through it, so we triggered some stops here. We get to nearly to the 38% level of the last up move. Ask side is bigger than the bid side is bigger than the ask side. Here's some absorption. 17. Below that level here, the 75, I'm focusing the short side still. Times and sales, you see there's a buyer in the market, lifting the market, and we want to see what happens if after some aggressive buying, you see aggressive buying here in blue, if the market will not move up, what happens? Here you see the selling. still some buyer here in the market, but possibly now it's some absorption. Don't want to get above that level. You see someone's buying the market, and now someone's buying the market, and the price goes down. So that's the meaning that someone absorbing the market. Now we have a tight stop of 3 points, get good trigger price for the entry because of our price action, but you see that we are ranging here around the 96, 79, and we saw buying and selling and a balanced market. Possible we get stopped out, but the entry was really good. Let's take it one tick higher. Then we are above that absorption level. What's up with the bond markets here? Bond market still in this area, in this zone. Stocks taking out the low of the cash. And you see someone's buying at the moment and getting something with a big hammer on the us side. What's up here? Tweeting. German IFO companies have gone increasing pessimistic about the coming months. We are waiting here for the push to the bottom. So here we go. That was the last. Now we break the low. We don't want to get back above our entry. We see deltas going down. Aggressive buying, absorption. And now we see the market sellers here. So now we see aggressive selling. Some absorption here. It's a 65. I don't want to get the price back to my entry because I want the sellers to take the book and push the market down, and if they cannot do it with the initiatives, they are too weak. Okay, we get it out. Oh. The stop was too tight. My stop was too tight. Okay.
Ja, ein Bund, buyers short term and long term is still set to long, still on long. And again, there is the range mode, so if you play the range long, now we're going back to this area. So look for rejection or whatever signs and trigger you use to play it.
Guck mal, timing is everything. Entry in the DAX and a drawdown in position only 1.5 points. So here is nothing to do. We are still in the range and we are trying to get back above our no man's land zone. We are focusing still the short, but we can see that the sellers pushing the market in the last 3 minutes down and just hit the 62. The 62 was the last level where we saw aggressive buyers, and so let's take a look at if we see push to the top back above the what is it here, 275. Rotation point was here, lower we note initial balance low 275. That was the point. Look at the overnight action. We saw pushing the market and supplies into the downside, moving up overnight, defending that level to the upside, moving higher, and then at the moment we are on the short side of that level. So focus the short. Focus the short.
As long as you're not at the dark side of the moon, everything is good. So supreme risk-reward scenario in Bund. Right now I'm waiting for my triggers to get into a range long. If they're not coming, I'll stay out, but risk-reward. Really good for the long here. But think before you trade.
Yeah, still, you see here all the time someone's absorption at the top of the last move. The market gets down because of some aggressive limit sellers here. $67, what was the price here? 200. Wow.
Really low volume in Bund right now.
Bank of Spain banks non-performing loans ratio 5.7 in April. Okay. So here we go. We break below the last support level in the DAX, and still someone's hitting the ask aggressively. That's not nice.
Hitting the ask? Okay. Okay.
Ich komme nicht rein in den Short. Scheiß drauf. Reicht. Zweimal jetzt probiert, zweimal kommt er wieder um 100% zurück. Oh, Bund ist auch unten.
In Bund, we saw the dip into lower areas, but also saw a first reaction, and right now we are within a possible range.
Ja, aber du hast gesehen, ne? Das Hoch war der Entry, Fails, Breakout, komplette Value zurück zur anderen Seite. Das war der Trigger da oben, ne? Das war das Ding.
Ja, sage ich ja nichts. Sehr immer das Gleiche.
So, im Bund ist natürlich jetzt interessant, wenn wir unter die 32 eintreten.
Ja, erstmal ist auch mögliches Range, also hier ist erstmal grundsätzlich objektiv Range Long Szenario. Erst wenn wir das verlassen, also es ausdrücken, dann kommt das nächste. Ne?
Ja. Das sieht so aus, als wenn im DAX die Kasse so ein bisschen nach unten drückt. So DAX, you see in the Discord the picture does cash is pushing us down. It's not the future that's carrying us down here. Daimler profit warning weighs on DAX stocks tweet water. Okay.
Also Bund fixt jetzt an, also der Range noch nicht funktioniert und fixt jetzt weiter an. Mit tieferem Tief. Momentan stützt noch die 30 und das ist ja die Zone, die wir hier jetzt wieder, hier kann man jetzt gucken, ob man wieder eintritt, sozusagen sehen in die darunterliegende Hauptdistribution der bimodalen Distribution des Vorteils, um ganz geschwollen zu sprechen. Noch ist er in dem LVN, also noch ist er in dem LVN um die 32 und drunter wird es dann interessant. Dann würde ich sagen, Target Area, die erste vom Bund ist dann die 175,21, ne, Matthias? Also 25 POC und 21,20 so die Ecke.
Das erste Target, warte mal. Also wenn wir die jetzt hier rausnehmen, die 31, 32, dann bin ich schon dazu, dass wir sagen, wirklich die 23 mindestens.
Ja, ich sage ja, also 25er der POC und die 20 da unten, das wäre so die Ecke, die Kante, ne?
Ja. Guck mal in Woche, letzte Woche Profil. 25 musst du gucken. 25
ja,
Assets.
Ja. 25 und die 20.
18. 25 und 18.
Gucken wir mal nach.
Yeah, DAX is rotating, so it's in rotation mode around the 65, 66. You see that we have a push in the market up and down from the future side, and now we are rotating sideways, and wow, we're rotating sideways. We are pushed here and push and pull from the cash market. Chemicals are down. Aggressive sellers here at the moment. Times and sales getting red. Maybe the second try to get deeper into the numbers. Yeah, aggressive sellers here in the market. Look at the times and sales. After a buyer is someone getting into the market with a short side, we can use a tight stop here. Because if we go through it, we don't want to see the buyers coming back into the market, you see. Look at the times and sales. aggressive sellers here. And the index arbitrage is getting us back to the top, but if the cash moves down, there we go. Ah, okay. We are moving too fast in the future markets. The cash market is not moving with us. So you see that we got a pullback that's too big. So we are too aggressive in the future market. Nur eben so 8 Punkte verschenkt, weil ich nicht aufgepasst habe.
Ja, willkommen im Club.
Wieso?
Na, wie erzählt, heute um kurz nach 9 oder 9:14 Uhr. Und jetzt gerade habe ich den beschissensten, schlechtesten Preis erwischt. Um 10:10 Uhr, ein Tick. Trennte mich dann von meinem Stopp. Das Szenario. Das war nicht gut.
There was a nice girl going back through my office.
Ah, okay.
I was distracted.
Me too. Me too. Hashtag me too now hot.
So we are moving down with the cash market. So it gets the best price, and the best price is at the pullback. Where do we stand at the moment? $33 points. I stub it. Done. 66 ticks. One, two, three, four, 5 trades. Five trades? Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay. 5 trades. So we have some problems to go through our 38% percentage retracement here in the DAX. You see, 250 is the first retracement of the initial move upwards. 967 was the low, the high was 424, and the 38 percentage was 250. We tested level the second time. But think about it, you are a retracement trader, you want to get long, you saw the retracement first time, you get into a long, now we retrace, and now we cannot lose the contact to this level. So as long as it will take to get away from this level, it's possible to get the shorts triggered, longs triggered below that level 47. You see someone is trying to defend that level, but we cannot get away. Yeah. And more likely, you can see my how can I call it? My initial balance 50% extension is at the 54. We hit it at the first time here at 9:57. 3 minutes later, we see the push, and now we hit it the second time, and that's the level for a normal distribution day. So normal distribution means that we push back to our mean 296 with a high percentage. We tried it twice. The Bund is the monkey market today, Anton. Give him the time to. You can play the range from the beginning and play it till it ends, but not once, twice, third time or so. First time to the end, but not the third time. And if the market's pushing down through the 32, you know it will jump back and give you the entry. So let him show you that he really wants to get into the below the 32 and not just one tick.
Yeah, I have to copy this.
At the moment you can see the best price for a break of the lows was to get back to the PLC, see that the PLC wasn't transacted. No one wants to play higher prices than the PLC and the VWAP, and there was a good entry to get into a short to play the break, because your win-loss ratio is really minimized. Yeah. DAX still in the short mode. I want to see prices. I want to see a price that's getting higher than. Look at the rotation chart here. We must get above the 75. That's a passive entry for a good long. Here it's just speculating on the long or picking the bottom, but the price is in a momentum downswing. Yeah. What's up here in the TPO? In TPO, so you see we built volume below the 208, not 28, 208. So we are below the distribution of the past 3 days, and we are building volume below that level. So for a balanced profile, our target is anywhere here on the 200, 210. Let's see how it plays out there. So DAX at the moment weak. Okay, so now we are going into a long possibility here. You can see that there's an aggressive buyer at the market. Prices, limit cells get broken. We break the limit cells, so the ask side cannot hold us. We see the times and sales is getting green. Here's someone buying the market. Anton, we get deeper. So we get 4 ticks below the low level of the bond market. So we are in the value of the last POC. We get into the target. You see, we saw some pressure building up to the downside from the VWAP and the POC of the ongoing day. Now we want to see if we get a setback to the 30s here, maybe. High volume edge was 29. Yeah, DAX is, you see the buyer clearly in the market here. If we take out the 75, I think we don't have to discuss about a final order here.
So the bond here for me at 28, there's second entry chance for the short. But always have to have in mind that there was already a reaction at the POC now, once we triggered 25, the first target. So that's important now. We don't want to see initiative buyers now pushing higher again out of this now re-entered range. But if the sellers continue now, there is a good opportunity to go back and even test the range low around 22, 21, 20. Matthias, would you agree?
How big, or where's the level for the pullback?
No, right now we already touched it at the 28 level.
For me, the best entry price would be 30 or 31. Because the stop is there. I can say that the best price is the 31 or 32. Maybe the 39, and I want to have a tight stop of 3 ticks. Else we have to see if someone's selling the market there, or no one's going to buy higher prices. Wait a minute. So I don't know where the price is, where the sellers getting back into the market and want to push it again, but we see that we are in our range, and the 29 is the volume edge. That's a possible target. Yes, 29. I want to get the 29. Yes.
You're talking from the Bund, yes?
Yeah, Bund.
Yeah, for me too. So this
Because
for a pullback to the short again into the lower distribution with a good risk reward.
let's take a look at the 29. Yeah, 29 is the edge of the weekly profile.
Yeah.
Weekly
This is
profile.
the cluster. Yes.
And Friday, POC, minor POC 28. So yeah, I think it's the
And
best
you have
price.
always seen, you have also seen the the billion of sellers already appeared here after we split out the longs and went to new lows. This was at 10.26 as we pushed through the level of and through the bid liquidity, which was placed at this moment at 30. You see
Morgen, Helmut.
the more sellers coming in. So this is the area where there was the switch from the buyer to the seller buyers. Yes.
But I think 30 is a better level. 30.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
900 contracts. No one traded or tested the ask side there.
Let's see what happened.
Tight stop possible. So in the DAX.
$638 contract bought at 28, but got absorbed. So they're paying the offer, but more buyers coming. So they now bid support. So
So I think there's no reason to stay in the market with a limit sell if there's a buyer in the market. You can see,
yeah,
get the best price. Best price would be the 31 with a stop of 2 ticks for a fast retracement. So now we are at the best price for the level where we didn't touch any ask order on the way down.
true story.
So, nicht, dass er gefüllt wurde und da mehr nicht haben wollte. Wenn der jetzt anfängt zu verkaufen, gehe ich Market Short, ne?
Ja.
Mein Kurs steht.
We are right now at the volume edge now. So this is the risk reward situation.
No one's pushing the market down.
No.
2 contracts bought at the ask, nothing more. So I try to get the 31. I'm short. 2 point stop, volume base triggered stop at the 32. So we need more than 50 contracts to stop me out.
would say this is a good short from the, you entered from the risk reward thinking, so with a tight stop, that's perfect.
I saw that we got a really big initial balance. Nearly 30 points, 30 ticks.
Yeah, it was 30 ticks. But doesn't matter, so yeah. Good.
Yeah, DAX still rotating you. So you can see that the price level, the 75, was important for us in the DAX. So there was a level where the shorts get back into the market and pushed us down. Ich bin schon ein Tick vorne, toll. Und wieder, oder nicht. Schon wieder nicht. Wenn er zu lange dauert, dann bin ich auch raus direkt.
As usual, you see the big guys fighting now for this area, as always. In between total distributions, big bull and bears fights.
The DAX 30 is getting neutral, so the sentiment is getting from the short side to the neutral side. Economic calendar is off, nothing more to see today. Dimer profit warnings on DAX as stock tweet, okay.
Big sellers now in Bund. 400 and 186 sellers at 29, but it's still the region for a big bull bear fight, so as long as they can push lower towards to 26, 25 again, both sides are possible and tight stop on this short here.
So, but we are on side positive, so that's a good entry. There was a good entry. And if I would not have moved my limit sell, I would think I would have get the trigger. There were 500 contracts, and I was at 250. But we are talking about one tick here. Washington Deputy Foreign Minister says Moscow and the partners will contract the sanction on Iran. Okay. Also werden die also zusammen gegen die Sanktionen der USA.
Oh, watch out.
Ja, two ticks aber.
This is 33 here.
2 ticks, get out. I'm out.
Follow the leader.
So what's going on here with the oil? You can see we fall back below the 57.29. Okay. Whoa, one. Yeah, you can see it here in the oil markets that we got initiative buyers, but look at the daily chart, the weekly chart. The weekly chart, we don't want to get into the upper distribution here of May this year, and in the daily we fall back below our value area high 95, and now we want to test lower levels.
Yeah, Gold's going back after failing to re-enter lower distribution. He's going back to the actual distribution from today's morning chart, and this is set by 100 from 30 to 40. Now we're already 37. And have a huge bit of support at display with the 36 with 800 contracts. So that's the principles of an auction market. Isn't it?
Wait, I'm short in the oil market.
Okay. Okay.
Interesting. Anton, kannst du auch mal reingucken? Kannst du auch mal kurz reingucken?
Ja, ich schreibe gerade was im Screen.
Ist egal, machen wir nachher. Yeah, bonds rejecting value area, the POC of Friday, no? Yeah. So the price is telling us that we are too cheap. Where's the sheep?
Sheep? The sheep, yeah.
The price is too cheap. Where's the sheep?
The price sheep was at 7.5 today.
Fuck, ey.
That was the word.
Anton, normally we have to focus the long side. We saw the shift in the value from Friday to the overnight and the morning here that we got out of the value. So normally we must go long at the PLC or at the value area high of the last day. Okay, DAX moving upwards, still a buyer in the market. So I'm out. Done. Still ongoing crude oil short. Some DAX position. No. Yeah, for the DAX we can make it short debriefing here. We saw in the DAX that the open was above the value area, in the value area of the last day, or in the value area of Friday. We managed to defend the initial balance LIS, so the 50% of the initial balance, and there was the value area low of Friday. We saw it here at the beginning of the cash market. Then we jumped to the PLC of Friday. There we made a fails breakout of our initial balance high, and that fails breakout was triggered as we move back into our value after triggering the VPOC of Friday. And the second setup would normally be, if I would not have get the price so low like I get here, would be to trade the rebreak into the initial balance, and the target would be the initial balance low, and we saw that we hit the target 2 times, and so both setups were in the green normally. Then we want to play a short momentum trade, breakout to the bottom, but we can see in the rotation that the DAX cash market is leading us down, so that the future is getting pulled back by the index arbitrage any time. So there was nothing more to do on the short side. Now we're waiting for retracement above the 275 to get a passive entry into a long market, but as long as we are below the 75, it's a short market. In the Bund, it was interesting to see that we played a small range. 2 times, once we got the possibility to get a breakout out of our no man's land at the top, but we saw absorption, and after absorption we saw aggressive selling, so people are going out of the long position, and that was the trigger to play the range on the short market, and the breakout didn't of the initial balance low didn't match, because we jumped into the PLC of Friday, and then we get again back into the long train, long market, and that was normally the best entry. Why? Because our open was shifted above the value area of Friday, and that's a sentiment change, so we must normally focus the long side here in the Bund, the long side on the value area high of Friday or the PLC of Friday. And if you look at the price action, we saw a value area high of Friday, 3 times buyers in the market, and then the PLC 1 time also a buyer, buyer 2. Shit, Bund, okay. So, take care of your money and good luck.